Hello, Dawna here with Transformational Healing, and today we are going to go on an update summer wild weed walk or summer herb walk to update you about how some of the flora that we identified early on in the spring wild weed walk and summer wild weed walk videos are changing. And we're going to start out with some berries and some flowers that we haven't actually seen before. So, come join me for a walk. We are going to start out with the blackberries. And as you can see, some of them are very, very red. And the blackberries are actually, some of them are ripe. So we have some nice blackberries coming out. They're just starting here at Brushwood Folklore Center. And underneath the blackberries, we have some Loosestrife that has come up. Some beautiful, I believe this one is the World Loosestrife because it switches. It could be the loose one, but here we have Loosestrife. And I don't have any medicinal uses for it. It's just a beautiful flower that I've come to know that comes up in the summertime. And another one that is beautiful is Agrimony. And this is a fuzzy, or I think it's because you can see the hairs on the stem there, but I know that it's a type of Agrimony, and I will put that up on the screen so that you can get a better look at that. The little flowers are so pretty. And I know that Agrimony also has some wonderful magical properties that I'll also pop up for you. And we're going to take a quick walk over here this way. You can see more Agrimony and more Loosestrife down there. And this is that multiflora rose, that invasive species that we were looking at, and it had flowers, those beautiful white flowers, and now you can see that they've gone to seed and even the berries of that have fallen off. A lot of the multiflora rose is actually getting eaten by the Japanese beetles that are out here right now. And I thought I saw a tiny little bit of raspberries left. There they are. There's a few raspberries left down there that have not fully come up. There are raspberries elsewhere on the property. I'll try to show you those. And another picture of that beautiful Loosestrife. And as we come up here, there's more blackberries that are just getting enough sun. The other blackberries on the property are not quite as red right now. So you can see that whole area in there is filled with that yellow Loosestrife. So let's take a walk and go down to the pond area, the bridge. So as we make our way down towards the bridge area, I came across this beautiful elderberry. You can see all the tiny little berries that have come out where those beautiful white flowers were. There's going to be lots of beautiful elderberries on this tree. Come out from here. Hiding up in the top of this tree is a vine that some of you may know. That is bittersweet nightshade. It's a type of belladonna. And those purple flowers with the beaks will turn into a reddish purplish berry that is very poisonous. And make sure that the kids don't eat them. And they have their magical uses, but they should not be consumed. And over here we have some purple dead nettle that just came up. I've never actually seen this over here before. You can see a beautiful specimen right there. It's interesting. I'll put some more information about that up on the screen. And over on this side, there's also a couple of last little red raspberries. So these ones are red raspberries, so this one's ready to eat. As we round the corner here, you can see the bright, bright red berries. This is that Japanese honeysuckle. And you can see I showed you in the first of the summer herb walks that these berries were starting to turn red, but you can see how red they are. My kids actually just like to call them bird berries because that's what eats them. And we'll continue our walk down towards the pond. I have been super excited to share this with you. It's a little bit windy here today, as you can see, but this is the beautiful St. Johns Wort flower that blossomed just after I did my summer walk, for the summer weed walk. You can see how beautiful the St. Johns Wort is, and St. Johns Wort is amazing for uses such as depression and bringing in the sun and protection in the winter time. So it's great to leave an offering and pick a small sprig. Just pick a small sprig like one single one of these and bring it into your home, sometimes with some yarrow, and allow it to bring protection to your home throughout the year, and then replace it at the next summer solstice. So I know that it's closer to Lammas now, but it is also great to just add whenever you can find it if you weren't able to find it closer to the solstice. So I don't know how easy it is to see with the camera here, but all that vibrant, vibrant purpley tops. These plants are huge. I am standing at the same level that they are now, and the camera is right in front of my face. So some of these are taller than my head. All of this is called Queen of the Meadow, or Jewelweed. It is great for urinary tract infections, for kidney issues and bladder issues that are going on. So a great herb to look up for those types of things. See if I can get closer to one of them. Now these ones on this side aren't fully opened yet, but you can see how it's purple, and I'll show you a fully opened one in a minute on the other side. The stem is round, it's not square, and these leaves come off all the way around, like in a whirl. Beautiful, beautiful plant over here. And this may be the close-up that we may get of the Boneset. I'll probably get one further away that's open, but this is the white flower on top of the Boneset that I showed you in the earlier videos. But you can see how that leaf goes all the way, trying to get the shadow out of this. You can see how the leaf goes all the way around the stem. Let's see. Try to get you in the sun over here. There we go. See how the leaf goes all the way around the stem? And two arrows coming out. And Boneset is great for, yes, working on mending bones. And there are some other uses that I will also put up. You can see how hairy that stem is. And let's make our way around the pond and see what else is here. So on this side of the pond, you can see that we have more of the Jewelweed, or Queen of the Meadow. They're still not quite open on this side, but this is blue Vervain, and we saw that in the back fields of the second herb video that I did last time. Beautiful stalks of blue Vervain. And this one's near the swamp. It's possible it could be a swamp Vervain, but it definitely looks like blue Vervain. And there's all kinds of little flies and little bees on it right now. You can kind of see them working away. And there's our Boneset, the white. And I believe, yep, this over here is going to be goldenrod. Now, everyone mistakes ragweed and the allergies that ragweed creates, and they blame it on the goldenrod. So this is actually going to blossom yellow. This is not usually the one that is giving you the allergy problems. Let's see what's on the other side. Do you guys remember those baby mints that we had come across that were so tiny? They all looked like these little guys right here, but check these guys out. They are so big and beautiful, and I'm pretty sure that we were correct that they were an apple mint. But they're beautiful all along here. And the jewelweed is around, but it looks a little waterlogged today. Here's our jewelweed that we had looked at that was way down in there. They were little tiny plants. And jewelweed is great for poison ivy. And you may be able to actually see the flowers here. So jewelweed is also called spotted touch-me-not, and it has these cute little orange trumpet flowers on it. And in another few weeks, not quite yet, when you touch it, the seed pods will pop off and pop all over the place and plant new ones. And that is why it is called spotted touch-me-not as well. But jewelweed is amazing for poison ivy, which is why I use it in the poison ivy potion. See if we can get a close-up of this flower. And there's the flower from that side. And there it is. Cute little flower. Yeah, so right now if you touch it, nothing's happening because the seed pods aren't ready to pop. And here's a Boneset almost opened up. And a whole bunch more of the Jewelweed. And a lot more of the Jewelweed with lots of little orange trumpet flowers everywhere. So it's just a plethora. And all that is mint underneath there. And over here we have Queen Anne's lace. We had seen Queen Anne's lace earlier on in the other videos, but it wasn't quite this big or open. So yeah, so where the umbel is flat on the top, all of the places for that come off on the same place on the bottom, like an umbrella. Unlike Yarrow, that comes off at all different places below, but ends up top. And remember, this flower has one spot in the middle of the big glig cluster, and Yarrow has little dots in between each little spot. That's a big difference. And this looks more like a carrot, although it's getting really dried out here. Let's see if we can find some Yarrow. So on the way to find Yarrow, I spotted some beautiful milkweeds with the flowers on the top. And these ones are not quite open, but these ones over here are definitely open. The shadow out of the way. That is milkweed. And the milkweed pods are good to spread around for wishes, but make sure that you spread them in places that they will actually grow, because they are very much in need by the monarchs right now. So we don't want to take them out, but if you can find milkweed pods, they are great for wish magic. I was hoping that if I came back to the place where we saw the Queen Anne's lace and the Yarrow close together last time, that I would be able to show you the Yarrow. And there it is. See how the tops look different? And you can actually see right from here how every one of the stalks comes from a different place, but they all end up at the top. And if you look down, you see that fern-like leaf that I talked about in the last video that I did on Yarrow and Queen Anne's lace, the summer 1 or summer 2 video. And over here is the Queen Anne's lace. There it is. See, more delicate, but the leaves are not as delicate. And from here, you can also see that that pickerel weed that we saw in the summer 2 video is purple everywhere. Look at all those purple flowers. Just amazing purple flowers, just completely filling up that pond. So beautiful. And the cattails are across the way. You can see them way over there. And hear the pond. Oops. And you can hear the frogs. So this is where we found that beautiful blessed thistle. I'm going to zoom in because I cannot actually walk in there with my sandals that I have on. But you can see the blessed thistle is beautiful. There's blossoms everywhere. And I think that's a bumblebee. There he is. So that is blessed thistle. And as we spin around this way, we come to that beautiful pokeweed that we had talked about. I just want to do a close-up of the pokeweed. And you can see that the green version of those berries, or the white version a little bit, there's still some flowers. Look. Alright, so that's the flowers. Back out so it comes into focus here. That would be the flowers of the poke. There they are. And then we have the green berries that are starting to come out. Let's see if we can. So this one has a few of the green berries that are here. And as we come around, you can see lots more of the green berries hiding in there. And lots where there's still white flowers. And you can still see lots of white flowers on there, but you can see lots of places where there are green berries. Now, those berries are going to turn into that bright purple color that we talked about, and they make an awesome dye. But poke root is also used for other things, but not a poke root from something like this. This is way too big. But if it had a baby and it just started to grow up the roots, you might be able to use that. So we have the mullein plants. The ones down below were in the middle of the field, so they were not still existing. And these leaves do not look very healthy at all. Some type of bug has been eating on all of them, or maybe because I'm seeing all this dust, it's some type of fungus. But the top of the mullein plant, you can see the beautiful flowers that are coming out. And remember that mullein is great for respiratory issues and to help with asthma and things like bronchitis and cough. Obviously not these plants. The top of it would be, you can use these flowers and you soak the flowers after you let them dry for 24 hours in olive oil to create the ear oil, like the mullein ear oil that I have in the shop. And you can also get mullein from the shop, and it's in a lot of my breathe teas. And this is motherwort. I actually hadn't seen this in a very long time and didn't even recognize it at first. You can see the other mullein in the background. And motherwort has these distinct leaves on the bottom, and when I wasn't actually looking at the bottom leaves, I thought it was a mint of some sort at first. It does have a square stem, so it's in the mint family, but here you have motherwort. And right next to it, we have that Virginia creeper that I had pointed out a long time ago in the summer videos, and you can see that it has beautiful flowers on it now. And researching this, I found out that it is a type of clematis and is also called devil's hair or devil's darning needles. So I've seen quite a bit of this orange stringy stuff everywhere. And I knew it was some sort of invasive vine, but I looked it up and it is called Dodder, and it's actually parasitic. So it has these little white flowers. But yeah, this orange vine is called Dodder, and I will put up on the screen anything I find about it, but it's a parasitic plant, and that's how we're going to end our video, is with that and these beautiful asters. Little tiny blue babies down there too. Remember those from that first video in the spring? So that is the end of our early August, late summer wild weed walk. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the change in all of the plants from the spring wild weed walk and the summer wild weed walks that we did. But it's really fun to see the change and the growth and to talk about harvest. So our last video was about the harvest, about Lunasa or Llamas. You can check that out if you want to know what that's about. And next week we're going to talk about harvesting some of the plants, the ones that I didn't actually show you today. So, many blessings, tribe, and we'll see you next Tuesday.